Hello, Dream Team. Welcome back to our podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting podcast of Here's a Thought with the Makhs. My name is Lerato Makheta.
And I am Petola Makheta.
So excited to be here once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Welcome. House rules before we get into it.
Yes, guys, in the house here at the Makhs, we like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that notification bell to know every single time we upload a new installment. And we appreciate you, so keep them coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
So guys, so a lot of people have been saying to us, you guys don't look like you fight.
Yeah.
You guys are so perfect. Your relationship is so perfect. But guys,
setting us up for failure here.
But guys, the reality is we do have disagreements.
Yeah.
All couples have.
Yeah.
No relationship is perfect. And I think that a lot of our fights or disagreements could have been avoided as a result of how we communicate with one another.
For sure.
So I think over the months, over the weeks, we have sort of dropped one line there, two lines there about communication. But today we want to focus on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and what's also important to understand is miscommunication can happen in seasons.
Exactly.
So you can go through a season of just not understanding each other, and then you go through a season of like you guys just click and everything is just in place, and you're like, oh, I wish they could. But all good things come to an end sometimes. So.
Maybe not to an end, but like you're saying, it's seasonal,
Seasons.
right?
Yeah,
so today, guys, we are going to be giving you communication hacks for her.
For her,
Relationship communication hacks for her. I'm so excited. We called it communication hacks because Hako watches YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And she always learns these amazing
life hacks.
these life hacks,
Yeah.
and they actually work.
Yeah.
So I really think that this is going to help someone.
Shoot, I'm
you
ready
ready?
to hear this. I am ready.
Okay, Ishma, the phone is so far because I didn't want it to be on camera.
Okay,
So now I have to fetch it.
go get it. That was poor communication.
So guys, I wrote this down because I don't want to squirrel and be sidetracked. The first one, babe, the how. Approach is everything. So I posted an Instagram post about around our anniversary last year. And a lot of people saved that post, and I wasn't understanding why it is that they did. But the message was really about what I learned in the 11 years that we've been together. And it was basically the do's and don'ts, right?
Of communication.
But it wasn't just based around communication, but it was just what I learned, and communication was a part of it.
I got you.
So the how, guys, the approach, that is big for me because I realized that a lot of our disagreements stem from how I communicate to you. So like I said, when we met, I was a tell it like it is kind of girl. And there's nothing wrong with telling it like it is, but the manner with which or in manner in which you approach your partner is very important, because I would see that sometimes Lerato would be defensive if my approach wasn't right, or sometimes you would be there would be like a wall, and you wouldn't be receptive to what I was saying to you because of the approach. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, I'm just about, yes, that's right. 100%. I love it. No, approaches is, so also just to make a point quickly that, yes, as much as I'm a man, one of the things I've always said is I'll never understand women, but if I spend the rest of my life trying to understand my wife, then I will have done my job. So this is kind of specific to me, but if I am like any other man, then this is something that will be useful to you. Approach is everything for me because it says a lot about your heart. It says a lot about what your intention is in communicating this to me. You can communicate something with the intention of trying to hurt the next person because you are hurt and you want them to feel the same pain that you're feeling, or you could communicate that in a way that, look, I'm going to try as much as possible to communicate this as lovingly as I possibly can. And we can tell the difference. For myself, if I feel like you took the time to get out of your feelings and take some time to think about how I can communicate this in the most loving way possible, but in the most truthful way as possible. That goes a long way for me.
And I also think like we learn bad habits along the way. I don't know who came up with this. Is it a proverb or is it a saying that says straight talk doesn't break any friendship?
Yeah.
Right? And I think sometimes we could be straight talkers to a fault, where we think that we are saying the truth, but then the way we communicate the truth is hurtful.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that our intention was malicious, because I don't think that when we got married, I was intentionally trying to hurt you. But in how I would communicate, I was just thinking, no, they said communication is the most important thing in a relationship.
Yeah.
But sometimes we're not given the tools to communicate. We're just told to communicate, but you don't know how to use that instrument that you're
tool,
given.
yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah,
you're given the instrument, but you're not taught how to use it.
You know, the interesting thing about what you're saying is that communication is a two-way street.
Yeah.
You're not communicating if the next person is not responding. That's not communication. That's lecturing.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a very big difference. So if we're saying that, if we're talking about communication, if you're not getting through to the next person, you're not communicating. So I would rather invest my time in trying to figure out how I can get through to you.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is to ask you and say, okay, how would you like me to communicate this next time? Because I'm so burdened with this thing that I need to tell you, but I feel like every time I speak about it, you close up. So how can I get you to a point where you open up and I'm able to communicate it in a way that I get a response from you?
I love it. Where you're not just talking to yourself just to prove a point.
Yeah, because straight talk never.
Or to have the last word where you just like I say what I said.
Yeah, for sure. and okay, sorry, actually yes.
Okay, number 2, guys, very important. The when in a literal and figurative way. So I'll give you examples. So I've learned that, I don't know if this applies to, I mean, obviously men are different, but sometimes when we are in the heat of the moment, you don't want to communicate. You don't want to talk about something when things are heated. You'd rather take time out. And when we met, I was just like, fight me. No.
Yeah. That happened the other day at 3:00 in the morning. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Because I was just like, talk to me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not.
And I guess we also see it in the movie.
But what was the reason? What did I tell?
Sorry, my love, in the movie, they're just like, talk to me, damn it.
Yeah. What was the reason? Why did I say that I wasn't going to engage with this at that time?
What did you say?
You don't remember? I'll
Please
remind you.
remind me, babe.
Okay, so my wife was mad.
Yes. And I wanted to fight.
And she wanted to fight. So I said to her, listen.
Yeah.
She said, no, I want to talk. I said, no, you don't want to talk. You want to fight.
Yeah.
And
no, I agree.
I'm not interested in fighting. So we're not doing this right now.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very important. And I think that has saved us a lot of heartache in terms of just things that we could potentially say to one another that could be hurtful. So I really appreciate that.
That's such a good point, because guys, in the heat of the moment, you said what you said.
Yeah.
And now you have to apologize for the things that you said because you were emotional.
Exactly.
And the thing is, unfortunately, number 1, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
Number 2, you actually meant it. You know, when you're emotional,
do you think you always mean it,
you
though?
mean it. You mean it. It's those things, I'm telling you. No. I'm telling you, because you mean it. Because had you had some time to sleep on it, you were going to think about how I can communicate this in a loving way. So you still mean it when you say it. It's just fueled with so much anger
Yeah.
But you mean it. It's like when people say, "Oh no, I was joking." Yeah, you were joking, but you meant what you said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So you want to always make sure that you're protecting yourself from saying something that you're gonna have to take back.
Yeah, I agree, my love. Yeah. And I've learned a lot of wins, and when I say in the literal sense, like timing, guys. Timing is everything. So I know that Lerato in the morning, he doesn't like to talk about things like money.
Yeah, serious things. Yeah.
You're just like, baby, timing. I just woke up. I'm starting the day. When are you want to come and talk about, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5? And also when you're about to maybe get on stage or about to do a presentation or go perform, you just don't like to get into serious things because it just... It changes your mood, literally.
For sure.
And sometimes also serious things, guys, you can't be wanting to talk about serious things. Like now you've gone for Christmas lunch or you've gone to hang out with friends and now you want to start talking about that issue that you were fighting about the night before.
Yeah.
So when in the literal and figurative sense is so important.
Like that birthday party we went to. So
which one?
Of our friends, you don't remember? In Sandton.
You and I?
Yes.
And we had a fight.
When we hit the club. You don't remember? You see, my wife blocks out things when I'm the victim.
And I was so stressed. Why was I even at a club? Oh, I was so stressed.
I mean, it was a once in a
year
thing. All right. A lot of people were commenting on our back to school vlog, and they were saying, "Yo, I wish I could wake up my kids like this." Like, in what household do people wake? I have a very big sensitivity to how I'm woken up, and as a result, I'm very sensitive about how I wake up my kids.
Yeah,
because I know the kind of place that it puts me in, and I'm so protective of that. I'm like, no. Guys, in the morning, I went to a school to a school, and I was boarding, and they used to play classical music to wake us up.
Okay.
It was just like, I was like, guys,
they didn't wake you up
life.
with the wet vaslab.
Yeah, you know what I mean. and there's oh gosh, I'm just
opening the curtain.
Oh no. That's not gonna work for me. So
But I learned over the years.
It's good to understand your partner.
No, I learned over the years, not that I woke you up, but I would wake you up and want to get into it. On some babe, and you're just like, wait a minute, Erke defrost, I need to defrost
I do
a little.
need to defrost. Yeah.
And funny thing is that Hakwe is exactly like you, and Ro is exactly like you.
Morning people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, number 3, say what you mean what you say. You coined this term actually. What do we mean by that? So I think I've started many a fights. Wait, I'm sounding like Ntadumela now.
No, we love you.
I'm sounding like I'm the one that starts most of our fights.
Because you do.
No, I don't. Sorry, did I just spit into my mic?
No, you didn't.
I think, you know what, ne? Sometimes I give it attention, and I'm not kidding it.
You start a fight.
Yeah. Guys, do you guys do that sometimes, ladies?
No. It's I speak to enough guys to know that this is a universal thing.
But I think sometimes I don't know that I'm missing you.
Right.
It's also a self-awareness thing, and I think maybe sometimes we don't spend enough time with ourselves to interrogate our feelings. So I'll find myself picking a fight, but then at the end of it all, I'm like, oh.
What I was trying to say was...
It's because I feel like, so you might say you have a meeting, and I start a fight about the fact that you didn't tell me that you had a meeting, and you're dropping this meeting on me at 11th hour. But the issue is not the meeting. The issue is that I actually miss you. And I want to spend time with you. And I don't have maybe the right words to communicate that in that moment because I haven't interrogated my feelings.
That's so interesting. Wow. Okay, I just got like a...
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel, in that moment, do you feel like if you were to communicate that you're missing me, that you would feel ridiculous?
In that time, I don't even know that I
that's-
miss you.
Yeah. So,
But there's just something going on inside of me, because when I interrogate it, I'm like, no, man. Because remember, baby, we go away. I go away.
Yeah.
And I sit with myself. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, and that's why I'll come to you sometimes and I'll apologize and I'll say, babe, often. I'll
Yes.
say, my love, you know what? I'm sorry we fought.
yeah. And then I go, I'm used. But
So-
what I'm asking is this.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I'm asking this for myself. Do you feel like I have invalidated your feelings at any point where you felt like you don't know if you can trust me subconsciously? You don't know if you can trust me with your truth in this moment. So you don't allow yourself to go there. You know, to the honesty of actually I miss you.
I don't think, you know what, you're not the type to invalidate, really. I think you've always been very honest. You've always been very sensitive. You try. You haven't always been sensitive, but you try to be.
I found Christ. Yeah.
But I think that sometimes you could be so set in your ways
Yeah.
that I'm met with opposition.
Yeah.
Not because you intentionally want to disregard the fact that I miss you, but because you're just like, no, man, I must
Yeah.
do things. I must work. I must
Yeah.
meetings. I must this.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm thinking, maybe if I come and say, I miss you, then it's like, yeah, but I'm working for the family. And it's like, now I'm being, because you
This is so
sometimes,
good.
because you
This is
sometimes like
interesting.
to say that I'm paraphrasing. I stand in the way of you putting in the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe I feel like if I say I miss you, then it just sounds petty.
Yeah.
But then if we're fighting,
Yeah.
then
You know what's so interesting
I
about
don't know if
that?
I'm making sense.
You're making complete
Yeah.
sense. Guys are very simple. And I don't know, I think this is going to be another point. Sorry to jump ahead. But
yeah.
if you said you miss me, I would do something about it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I would be more intentional. It would be something that, right, if you just said so, right? But it's that thing that women do, and I think we're going to get into it, but it's that thing like,
Sure.
no, and I get it I get it when it comes to this point.
Yeah.
There's nothing more painful than saying to your partner, why don't you tell me you love me? And then they start saying, I love you. And you're like, oh, you're just saying you love me because I told you to say
I'm
you
glad
love
you
me.
brought up
You know what I
that
mean?
point.
So I get it.
I'm so glad you brought up
Yeah.
that point.
So I get it on a human level,
Yeah.
right? But we also have to understand that we don't have the same sensitivities. So yeah. So yeah.
So,
Yeah.
baby, I'm glad you brought that up, because I've often said to you, you've actually reminded me, because I've often said to you, no, but I can't ask you to spend time with me. It must come, you must miss me enough to want to spend time with me. Because we know when we haven't been spending quality time together, both of us are away. So I always say, babe, you know, I can't remind you. But I think the older I get, and because our communication is so much better, I can now say, I don't feel like, and I think also maybe just being confident in the fact that your partner wants to be with you, but they might also be caught up in life and in work mode.
Let me tell you what it is,
Yeah.
possibly for a lot of guys. Ladies, let me tell you what it is possibly for a lot of guys. You see, there's nothing that a guy values more than peace. Nothing. Finances, money are something, the lack of it
Yeah.
is one of the number one reasons that causes a lack of peace in the household.
Yeah.
So this is going to be my pursuit. Me working, you know, you'll hear a lot of guys saying, but I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for the kids. I'm whatever. Can't you see? Right?
Yeah.
And the woman is like, I don't need all of that. We've seen this in movies.
Yeah.
I don't need all of that. I just need you.
I just need you.
The problem is, ladies, and this is the problem. Now you have me and there's no money. And when we are together now, we don't have peace. Which doesn't make any sense. It's like, okay, cool. But now we're, you know, and then you're the first ones to say, yeah, but love isn't enough. We need this, we
Yeah.
need that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we gather all of this data and we get to a bottom line that says, okay, this is what we're going to take care of first. This is what we're going to. So if quality time is something that we need to do more of, it's easier for us to schedule it. As
Yeah.
unromantic as it might be for you,
Yeah.
I need to schedule it because I need to stay busy. I need to stay pursuing. I need to, right? Because women say, "Munna ke plan." Is that the phrase?
Munna.
What do they say? Like a man
Oh.
wachereza, you know, like men go out and
There
they.
was another one that people use,
Yeah.
but I won't use it.
Botlaba munna, bomo potleng. And guys, this is a real thing. So you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to go out there and you know, I'm sensitive about this. Adam and Eve. Eve went out and did her thing, and then she gave Adam the apple, and then God came and said, "Hey munna."
Oh, sorry, baby. Apparently, it's not the apple.
Oh,
It's the forbidden fruit.
the fruit.
Yes, please.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. We don't want to be theologically
Right?
incorrect.
Gave the fruit to Adam.
Yeah.
And who did God hold accountable?
The man.
Who did God ask?
The
The man.
Yes.
So for me as well, I'm going, no. Nah, I'm gonna run.
Yeah.
You communicate, and we move.
But so, my love, I love what you're saying, right? But I think in the beginning, you didn't get that right in terms of scheduling. It was a case of work, and then you need to unwind, call someone, a friend. Yo, what's happening? Can we link up?
For sure.
Because that's how you distress, right? But now you are so much more intentional about, you're the first one to say, "Hi man, I miss you."
Yeah,
Because we've been so busy.
for sure.
So when that is the temperature in the home, it makes things so much easier.
Do you know that whenever the Bible speaks about the peace in a home, it always addresses the woman?
I think I've seen that.
Always addresses the woman.
And
The
when
only-
it speaks about love, it addresses the man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking for peace and it's not in my house, the first
But
thing I
also
want
when there's no love, there won't be peace.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get we talk so
Okay,
communication
sorry,
to
man.
men. So you know what I mean. So no, I'm just hoping that somebody gets
Yeah.
context about this,
Okay.
guys. A man wants peace in the home, and you know. You hear these beautiful these quotes, right? These ladies, you know, I will be his peace. I will be
Yeah.
his rock. But you are not his peace. You are his stress. You are there. You know what I mean? Try this, ladies. Try this. I used to give my wife challenges. I said, if you could go a week, 1 week,
Without complaining.
or
nagging.
or just 1 week.
Yeah.
I promise. Just watch how your man is gonna
Yeah.
start to want to spend more time at home.
Yeah.
He's not being that word. You know what I'm saying? He's not. He's just like guys, ladies. There is nothing that a man values more than peace.
And we have so much peace now.
We have a lot of peace.
Like I don't nag, guys.
Yeah.
I've graduated from nagging. And I think, baby, also just quickly to round up that point about say what you mean what you say. It goes with the men aren't great mind readers.
No, we are not mind readers. We are not great. We are not mind readers.
Men are not mind readers.
No.
So communicate, because you know some of our disagreements and fights would come from the fact that I felt like you didn't consider me. So I would be cleaning, looking after the girls, cooking, and so forth and so on. And I'm not saying anything. I look like Mbokoto vibes. I got it on lock, you know, holding the sharp end of the knife, not complaining. And at the end of the day, I'd be like, but you are so inconsiderate. I've been doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and not once did you offer to help me.
Yeah.
And Lerato would simply say, but why didn't you ask, my love? And I'm like, but it's 1 + 1, my baby. Could you not see that I'm focusing here? I'm busy. And step in.
You know what the very interesting thing is?
Yeah.
That when I'm busy, I'm not saying, but can't you see I'm busy? Because for me, part of my duty is to be busy.
Yes.
So I've often said we treat people like we treat ourselves, right? It's not that I'm being inconsiderate.
Yeah.
It's that possibly I've been busy and I'm tired. You know what I mean? And or whatever the case is. So for me, I then feel, and then when I'm washing the kids and I've done the dishes and whatever, in my mind, I'm not going, but can't you see? You see? So it's not a...
But I also think, baby, some things don't come naturally to men, and that's why we need to communicate. So when we met, you weren't always busy, but you wouldn't think to extend yourself to help me do the dishes or help with the kids until I had to communicate it many times to say, babe, I'm also tired. Because sometimes you just be unwinding, watching TV, and I come back from work and I'm still cooking and I'm like, but so I think some things just don't come naturally to men, but since I've learned to communicate my feelings in a
sober manner,
in a sober manner, everything just, there's a smoothness about the way we communicate.
Okay, unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
So I think the issue right from the get-go was that you were getting up to go to work and I wasn't. That's where the miscommunication happened. It wasn't the fact that you came back from work and you were continuing to do stuff and I wasn't. You see, the foundation of it was wrong.
Okay.
Because I believe, and I've said this before, that the woman was never meant to give to the man. You know, men, even biologically, we were built to give to the woman. So as soon as you've got that equation and it's unbalanced, then there's going to be misunderstanding around everything else. You've spoken before about how when I've given you money, there's something on the inside of you that just wants to cook for me, wants to take care of me. But why? Because that's the natural order of life. You understand? So our expectations start to flip when the role has been reversed. But I'm still being a man.
I get you.
And you're still being a woman. But now you're going, no. But why aren't you moved to do this because I'm out doing this, right? So it's almost like a role reversal psychologically, you know? And I'm going, no. Because for me, what starts to happen is, okay, not only am I unemployed, but now I'm also
self-employed.
No, I mean, I'm talking about then. I'm talking about the time you're, you know what I mean, or self-employed or whatever. But not only am I not bringing in the bacon, but now I must also be Sis Mary. You know, now I must also, so why aren't you washing the kids? And interestingly, when I started bringing the money in, it was so much easier for me because now my ego was out of the way. So now I'm happy to wash the kids. I'm happy to clean up. I'm happy to, because it's not, it hasn't reduced me to just that. I can admit that is all ego. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm explaining the human side of me.
That's fair. That's a fair point, babe. I love that. Ladies, you might need to repeat yourselves. I think some of my frustration would stem from me saying, but we spoke about this. Not once, not twice, many a times. And Lerato would just gently say, then let's speak about it some more. The trauma, you know? So I don't know what you want to say about that. I mean, that's got a lot to do with do you remember, guys, when I spoke about grace, and I was saying, you know, people that feel like they're perfect, you know, have the luxury of being judgmental towards other people. Here's the thing. We too say the same thing to women. We just don't tire. We don't get frustrated. And we don't have to repeat it every day. It's something that I can drop today. And because you're repeating it every day, you start to get frustrated. Like, how many times do I need to tell you this? And I'm like, well, you can tell me again, but until I get it,
I'm not going to get it until I get it.
I get
Be
you.
okay with that.
I get you.
Even for you, that's the grace that I extend to you, right? I could tell you the same thing, and for me, it might be once a month. And for you, it could be every day.
I love what you're saying, because once it drops in a man's spirit, it stays.
Exactly.
And we don't have to talk about it again.
And we don't pretend.
Yeah.
You see, I don't pretend.
Yeah.
When I don't get it, I'll say, listen, I'll try. I'm not making any promises.
Yeah.
I would like to hear you. I'm going to give it a shot. It might work out. It might not. Right? But that's because I'm honest with myself, and I can be honest with you. Right?
But I also think, my love, when people hit a roadblock in the repeat point, I think it's possibly time to get a mediator. Because sometimes it's just so tiring. You're like, 5 years later, we're still talking about the same thing and things are not changing. So,
but stop trying to change your man as well.
Yeah.
So,
but maybe not change the man, but just change a situation. Maybe because something is just like it hasn't dropped in your spirit. Maybe there's certain things that you've said to me, like I think 6 years into our marriage, and you're like, my love, I now see it from your perspective.
Sure.
But over the years, we've also had counsel. We've bounced things off therapists. We've bounced things off our mentors in marriage. So I think with the repeat, because sometimes people don't have the appetite nor the energy. And I think that's why in the beginning, a lot of marriages sometimes fail in the beginning stages, because people are just like, this is not what I signed up for.
Why aren't you getting this?
Why aren't you getting this? Yeah.
Yeah. And really, marriage is gonna.
It's gonna what?
Woo!
Child.
Guys, listen. We're not gonna lie to you, no? Marriage is gonna test you. It's for your good, but marriage is gonna test you.
Yeah.
You have to exercise grace.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with the idea that you are not right all the time. As justified as you feel. You're going to have to be okay with the idea that sometimes you're right and you have to apologize. Like, there are just and then not stick it in your partner's face that I was right and I was the one that apologized. How you feel now, grace. And just leave it alone. Just let it go. Because when people, I think often about what I would like people to say about me at my funeral. It is only then that people are going to now start having conversations about you and say, hey, this guy, man, actually, he was so this, he was so that. That is a gift that I reserve for my wife. I'm like, you know what? There might not be the thank you. She may not see it now. She may not. And by the way, she sees a lot of things, and we appreciate each other all the time, whatever. But there are certain things, where I'm just like, really, and for her as well, she's looking at me like, for real? Are you what? You don't? You know what I'm saying? But grace.
I love
man.
that. And baby, you're full of grace, eh?
Thank you.
Full of grace. The last
You're
one.
embarrassing me.
Okay, let me remove your beard. You've got something. Okay, guys, with the embarrassment thing, we're going to let you in. So, Shay, my husband, and he means well, and he likes to say, my beautiful wife, she's so perfect or whatever. But sometimes I get like really shy and embarrasses me, especially on screen. So I said to him, I was like, babe, please maybe don't.
Just before we shut this.
Just maybe don't say it a lot on screen, but you can tell me in private. I don't know. It just makes me like really weird and shy. I don't mind it. I love it. But
that's great communication. I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you.
Cool. I love you.
So the last point.
Yeah.
Ladies, mantombazana. When you communicate something and you're trying to get your man to do something, make it seem like it's his idea.
That's a new one to me.
Because men, I've learned this about you over the years. Men don't like to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Don't tell a man what to do, because it's either he's not going to do it.
Am I a child?
It's either he's not going to do it or he's going to do the opposite. Yeah. That's what I've learned. So I have strategies. I've learned to sort of kanika it.
Yeah.
Your subtitle
present
kanika.
It differently.
Yes. Present it in a way where hubby thinks, oh, okay. You know, I like that idea, but to make it seem like he actually came up with that idea.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
That's a bit wild. So
me
first of
why.
all, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's because I never picked myself to be a person like that, and it's not necessarily a negative thing. In the sense that I think I've been open about communicating. Going back to your first point, as to how you say something, right?
Yes.
I'd like to think that my ego, because this for me is about ego.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that my ego doesn't get in the way of a lot of things.
I think it does sometimes.
Possibly.
Not all the time.
Possibly.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think also, you know, I'm not speaking for all men, but I think it could be a man thing.
Yeah.
Can
you give me an example? And I don't get embarrassed, so you can.
Babe, now I must find an example.
Yeah, give me an example, just so that you can make it practical for me, and then we can kind of use that as a case study.
So maybe let me. I don't have like an example now at the top of my mind, but I'll give you.
Because you don't keep a record of wrongs,
no, my love. But I'll give maybe an example to say. Let's say if I want to say. Let's not. It ties back to the how.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Maybe let's not. So what my husband will do is Lerato is very adventurous, right? So I'm very systematic, and I can get a bit
stiff.
No, not stiff, but very ritualistic, right? I know that if we are going home, we are taking this road.
Yeah.
We always take this road to go home. And you like to explore.
Yeah.
One day, Otlanotsena in a road, gravel ditch road that I don't know about. It's just
for
like,
sure.
Let's just explore this road.
Yeah.
And if I don't like that road, I'm not gonna say, if you take it more than once, I'm not gonna say, baby, don't take that road.
Yeah.
I would maybe say, baby, how about we take that road because I don't feel safe on this road.
Yeah.
Then it just makes it seem like, okay, I'm not telling you what to do.
Sure, but that's not making it like it's my idea.
Okay, maybe better example.
You see, no, because the one that I take a little bit personally is like making it like something is mine. Because and let me tell you why I have a problem with that.
Okay,
I don't ever want you to feel like you can't express yourself or your voice, and that your opinion is not validated.
Okay,
do you know what I'm saying? So I don't ever want it to. And if that's your truth, that's your truth. I need to go away and interrogate that, but I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with the idea that you can't have your ideas put on the table and then I'm just... However, I can agree with you on the how, and then making me feel like you're instructing me to do something. That I'm very clear about. I'm like, no, because... I don't do the same to you because I'm sensitive about it, you know? Yeah. So we can go, I don't mind doing the back and forth. You know that, you know, I don't mind going back and forth. And very often I'll say, hey, you know what, it's cool. Let's, you explore that and I'll follow your lead. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not finding common ground on it. But once we start going, hey, don't do that. Then
there's you have a problem.
That's where I have a problem. Yeah. You see.
Yeah. Do you feel like in the beginning I was a lot like, don't do that, do this?
Yeah.
I mean, you still think I still do.
Yeah, you still do. So let me tell you about the root thing. Funny story, and I'm not gonna cut this out. So let me tell you about the root thing, right?
Okay.
So my wife was hammering me. Don't take that road. Whatever. I mean, to the point where it was just like she was, you know, and I was like, "Alright, cool." You know, there's actually...
Which road is this?
From Remsig.
Oh, that
back
Zandspreek
road, right?
one. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
So one day, I was really tired and my wife decided to drive, and then she took the road that she's been telling me all this time about how unsafe she feels and whatever. And then she took that road and I was like...
I don't even know. I was looking for a shortcut that day. But I think, my love, another thing maybe is, I can't think of like tangible examples now, but I know that I've done things in the past or said something in the past to make it, or maybe like if I like something and you don't like it, I'll communicate that, oh, I really, really, really like this. And then you start maybe doing it. If maybe I like something that you wear or your cologne, whatever, and then you opt for that option.
Sure.
Not because I told you to do it. But now it just seems like, okay, it's
That
his
makes
idea.
sense. Cool.
Does it make sense? Because
You inspired me.
Yes.
You encouraged me.
You cracked the code.
It's the same thing when we were talking the other day about you can't guilt somebody into bettering their lives. Rather encourage them, rather elevate them. So that's what you're doing in that moment. You're elevating me. You're encouraging me. You're saying, wow, I really like that on you. That haircut. You should, I think it looks so good on you. Oh, you need to do that more often. You see, that's very different to say,
wear this. With that, cut
these
your hair
these
like
are the
this.
shoes. I don't like that.
Yes.
You see, those are very different approaches.
Yeah. So I know that I've used that in other things, like things that we want to do in the house, or maybe business moves that you want to make, and I'll just sort of, and then in the end, it just seems like, okay, it was your idea.
And you know what's crazy? Is that God has brought you into my life to be my helper, my confidant, my partner, so your opinion is valuable to me, actually. So I want to take your advice. I want to hear what you have to say, but the approach is very important to me.
Love that. And that,
I
ladies
started
and
with
gents.
helper. I should have started with partner. You are my, I thought about it now.
Where you just like,
going to say, wait a
they will fetch
minute.
you. I'm the neck.
She's the subservient. Are you saying she is less than you? No, you're my partner, babe. You're my partner.
Love you, partner.
Yes, I love you.
And that, ladies and gents, was another riveting installment of Here's a Thought with the Makhs.
If you haven't done so yet, just a quick reminder of the house rules. We like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that notification bell to know every single time we upload a new installment. In about a week or so, we are going to flip this around and we're going to talk about communication hacks for the gents.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Because I've got a lot to say. Peace and blessings. One time, too real. Oh, yes. Cheers, guys.
Love you.